Welcome back to Atlanta Pride 50. We march on. Well, this is our special look at Atlanta's Pride celebration.
We turn now to a look back at equality and the fight for it by the LGBTQ community. Here in Atlanta, the Pride Festival is happening a little differently with all the events online. It's not quite the 50th anniversary celebration anyone had hoped for, but directors of Pride festivals in the past say this celebration hasn't always been easy. Gravir Denza explains.
50 years ago, a few hundred Atlantans upset with how LGBTQ people were being treated across the country took their frustrations to the streets of downtown Atlanta.
Our roots 50 years ago were more a protest and a fight for our rights. And as the years have gone on, it's still that, but it has also become a celebration.
Since then, Atlanta Pride has evolved.
It was a small group of people at that time. I think there were maybe 10 or 12 of us on the board, and that was it for running the festival. So we realized pretty quickly on that that wasn't going to be enough people.
The Atlanta Pride Committee played a huge role in that evolution. Donna Narducci was executive director in the early days, 1995 to 2008.
It was something that allowed the LGBT community in Atlanta to really start to flex our muscle a little bit politically.
These days, the Pride Festival looks very different than it did in the beginning. Instead of a couple of hundred people, thousands pack Atlanta streets.
Over the years, we, tried to bring aspects into the festival that would, like the family and children's area. We had the Dyke March, and now there's the Trans March. We went from having just two Grand Marshals, a male Grand Marshal and a female Grand Marshal, to then we created the honorary Grand Marshals.
One thing that hasn't changed is the message. Gay, lesbian, and transgender lives matter. They are your neighbors, your families, and your friends. And this year especially, they plan on making their voices heard at the ballot box.
I would say, in parting words, keep on keeping on. Keep on doing the work. It's important. It makes a difference in people's lives.
Pride has certainly come a long way in 50 years. So what do the next 50 years hold? Well, we had a chance to sit down with the current Pride director, Jamie Ferguson, to see her vision for 2020 and beyond.
Every day there's that very, very present reminder that the work is not just for this moment, it's not for a party, it's not for current enjoyment, it's for long-term change. We need to be a more diverse and welcoming space ourselves. We want everyone to have equitable resources, equitable choices, to be treated fairly and justly, and we want people to be able to be as out and visible as themselves as they want to be.
I said, Atlanta Pride! How you feeling?
When I first started Pride, it was a festival. It was putting my band out there and we'll see what happens. It's been 18 years and a lot has happened. And during that time, with the friendships and everything that we built, God was preparing me for what has become now for me more of activism instead of just being a performer, because he was preparing me for my own son. My son is gay. So now I'm not just a performer, I'm an activist, and I feel good that I'm able to use my gift to make people happy.
That was Michelle Johns, founding member of the Michelle Johns Band. Well, they've played at Atlanta Pride for 18 years. She tells us in that time, young people are becoming more comfortable living their truth. But we know that wasn't always the case in the LGBT community. In 1980, when many queer people hid their identities, one local rock band lived out and proud, and it made all the difference to their fans. Hear the story of lesbian rock group Moral Hazard, as told by drummer Jane Black.
We started in 1980. Jan was the lead singer, JB was the bass player, Casey was the lead guitar player, and I played drums. I had never played in a band. I had only fantasized about playing drums, and it just flowed like magic. was a band that was born out of political trying times as well. And our first shows were done at the original 7 Stages. They let us do this show after a Chekhov play at 11 o'clock at night. We were kind of ahead of our time. We were playing when the Indigo Girls were in the closet. In 1980, it wasn't that damn cool to be gay. But Atlanta was all about being gay back then. By the second weekend, there were people down the street waiting. The lines were out. We couldn't even believe it. It was outrageous. The community appreciated there actually being a kick-ass lesbian out rock and roll band. It took nerve. The words that Jan Gibson penned needed to be sung.
Stay sweet, lover, love, close,
Just wild girls and rock and roll. We were a ragtag bunch of dykes, I tell you.
Consider us.
Moral Hazard didn't last that long, but we were memorable.
We've been considering that your whole life long you've been told your love's just so right.
We really did a great job, and like I said, it was accidental, and it came to be a real powerful thing. I'm really proud to have been a part of it.
One shares your way.
Moral Hazard frontwoman Jan Gibson adds she found a lot of courage to speak up once she joined the Atlanta Lesbian Feminist Alliance, also known as Alpha.
The oldest LGBTQ plus film festival didn't take a break this year because of the pandemic. The Out on Film Festival just wrapped up earlier this month.
And as Astrid in the ATL tells us, this year the festival is only one of 3 Oscar qualifying queer film festivals in the country.
Out on Film Festival has always been a celebration of the LGBTQ plus experience. These are their stories, told by their own community.
Francis, did you see this? Next door to a tranny.
This year, the film festival runs 11 days, showcases more than 130 films from around the world.
I made the statement, I am a lesbian.
The festival opens up with a documentary, Surviving the Silence, made by local filmmaker Cindy Abel.
I said, the Army is going to start discharge proceedings against you. And I was stunned, embarrassed, hurt.
The story follows the landmark 1992 military review of Colonel Margaret Kammermeyer for admitting she was a lesbian. An Army nurse was asked to preside over her trial.
The irony was the nurse herself was a lesbian, and it really is about their story and how they reconcile. And it's very timely, as that this is the 10th anniversary of the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Atlanta's Jim Farmer is the festival's director. He says there's bonuses to screening the movies online versus in person. Ticket holders can view the movie at their convenience within a 72-hour window.
And the good news is that because we are virtual, we can utilize filmmakers from all over the world.
Even as a gay rugby player, that there's a certain masculinity that you need to maintain.
So that means that the film that wins our Best Drama Shorts Jury Award is now eligible to be considered for next year's Academy Awards. And that's huge for us.
And it's huge for the community of Atlanta.
Even with the coronavirus, the show must go on, and the Pride Committee is taking that to heart with this year's presentation of the Starlight Cabaret.
This year's cabaret streams tonight at 7 on Atlanta Pride's website, atlantapride.org.
And it really just celebrates the art form of drag and LGBTQ entertainment that we've kind of brought to our culture.
You'll definitely see a lot of local drag performers, kings, queens. There is a great talent that we have in this city, and so that's all going to be showcased in this Starlight Cabaret.
We have come to the end as we celebrate Atlanta Pride 50. We march on. It's been an incredible look back and also forward.
Absolutely, some things people probably didn't know about the fight for equality here in our area. We're sad because we can't enjoy that fabulous parade down 10th Street, moving right into Piedmont Park, but we wanted to make sure that we took the time to celebrate this 50th year anniversary. From all of us here at CBS 46 and Peachtree TV, happy Pride Day.